back to a brand new video, and this is my 1-year ownership review of my 2013 Touareg Tdi. Man, I can't believe it's been a year with this thing already. Honestly, in just that 1 year of ownership, I put so many memories and a little bit of miles, but more memories in this thing than I ever thought I could. And obviously you can see why. This thing is lifted on 33 0Y suspension. Like, you can take it anywhere, you know. So not only this thing gets amazing fuel mileage on road trips, it's also very comfortable. And obviously you guys see the way mine looks. It is a neck breaker and it gets a little bit of attention. And when I bought this vehicle, I did not intend for it to get any attention. I just needed an SUV. I liked how it looked, loved that it was all-wheel drive, and here we are now. One thing I also really love is how premium the interior is for 2013. We do have like the super dark brown like door trims. Honestly, it looks black, but like it's really dark brown with a little bit lighter brown, and the seats are like brown with the wood. Honestly, I love this combination. One thing I really hate is the headliner is like a tan, but we do have the moonroof, which is amazing. Obviously keep it cold to keep it a little bit warmer in here since it's winter time right now. And as you guys can see, these seats are very comfortable. This thing has everything, guys. Oops, ignore my mess. I got a ton of stuff in here. These seats do recline as well, so it's very practical. And obviously the rear passengers get a good view when the sunroof is open. This thing also has an automatic lift gate, which you can open with the key. It's so clutch in case you just can't open it or whatever reason. There's also a ton of space back here, which I use, obviously. You guys can see, but you guys don't need to look at my trash. One thing I immediately had to do when I picked this vehicle up is upgrade all the lights to LED, because I hate incandescent bulbs. LEDs just makes it look more modern. 1, modern. 2, brighter. 3, last longer. It won't like burn the inner housings. As you guys can see, we have LED tail lights, LED plate lights. We do have the tow hitch light when I'm not using my bike rack or not towing anything, so that's on. It's good for off-roading. It's super bright. Once I press the brakes, you do get it to like hyper flash, so for all those distracted drivers, they can pay attention. Here's another good part. We do have the 3.0 TDI diesel engine. I'm not 100% sure if it's the Catamotor, which is the one that I hear is the best overall one. I want to say there's like 3 models of this motor. I'm not 100% sure to what exact those models are, or if my information is wrong. That's all the information I get from like forums and stuff. But this is a good motor. The bad of this motor is timing chain tensioners. Timing chains are solid. They're super thick. Tensioners suck. And from what I hear, there's a lot of guys over like 300k, 400k miles on OEM tensioners and chains, so I'm not too worried about that. One thing that's very common for these vehicles is in between the valley, the V, is the oil cooler gasket, which tends to leak, so you get your coolant and oil mix. That did happen to me. My oil was slightly mixing with my coolant, but was able to fix it right on time. And one thing to notice when that's going bad is you will start to lose oil. You'll see the tiniest leak. I don't think you'll see it, but like obviously your vehicle will start needing oil, so I'm glad all that's fixed. And also one thing, I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's a good thing. Always swap your high pressure fuel pump filters. I plan on doing it every 10k miles, so every other oil change, because I do my oil changes at 5k miles, so that's not a big problem for me. Another thing about this engine is the high pressure fuel pump internals, I believe, or the high pressure fuel pump itself. They'd say it could like blow up basically, but it's very uncommon. It's something that happens, so there's people out there like, oh, like watch out, like, you know, it's very uncommon from what I've seen or my research. One thing to try to avoid it as much as possible, always add diesel like lubricity, like add like fuel additives. So I always use the Locomoly super diesel additive, and I've tried the Hot Shots, which is what I'm using right now. So I add I believe is, I want to say a quarter of the bottle. The bottle has its own measurements, so every time I fill up I add a little bit of that, and hopefully it'll make the high pressure fuel pump last long. and yeah. So mileage wise on my Touareg Tdi, I'm sitting at 142,000 miles, which apparently for these is very low. So it's not my daily driver, it's more like a weekend road trip vehicle. I do have 2 other cars, so those miles will stay low regardless. So I know I'll keep this thing for a long time, and I know I wouldn't have any issues with it for a long time because it's not my daily driver, so you know, it'll get its use definitely. Like I said, this is Eurowise lifted with Falcon Wild Peaks HE3s. Honestly, if you get one of these vehicles, please lift them. They are so capable and have the horsepower to get you out of anywhere. I've taken this thing through mud pits, snow, you name it, sand. This thing can do it. This thing is a solid. That's a big plus for the Touaregs, especially if you have a TDI. That torque is good. So another thing also, when picking up one of these, emissions things tend to fail here and there from what I hear. Obviously you can take the easy route, delete it and turn off everything, which I'm on a mid pipe delete with DPF delete. I still have my cats and my stock mufflers. I am on a stock tune, emissions turned off, only because the repair for my issue, which was my depth level sensor, was an insane amount of money. It made no sense to do it right now. Obviously I'm about to figure it out later, but this thing is running way better than what it was when it had all that stuff turned on. It's honestly, like, yeah, the downside, emissions, obviously we're out here California, emissions, and then the downside of emissions things being so expensive to repair, which makes no sense. Like, come on, California, that's like no help. Like, you want to be a clean state, but then you want to charge an arm and a leg for repairs on emissions. Like, it makes no sense. Now I know you guys want to hear this thing purr, so let's turn it on. And there you go with that diesel engine. Definitely sounds like a truck, which I like it. It sounds like character, you know. You know, those big entitled diesel truck owners. It definitely has character to it with the sound. And one thing I did delete the mid pipe in the DPF. Also on this thing, I have towed before, and honestly it's a champ. I only towed a quad with a decent sized trailer, so honestly it didn't even feel like anything. I was getting the same amount of fuel mileage. So this thing is really capable of towing. So if you want an SUV that can do it all, highly advise you get you a Touareg Tdi, or you can do a Q7 Tdi, or even a Cayenne diesel. Same motor, same everything, but different budgets. But most popular one, I think so, it's definitely this, then the Cayenne. Cayennes are just way more expensive. Obviously you pay for that Porsche tax. I give the Touareg a 10 out of 10. All around amazing vehicle. It can do it all, literally. It can haul your family, it can get your groceries, it has enough space for a big TV in the back if you ever buy a big TV, or whatever you need, to be honest. If you want to move, whatever. It can tow cars. Honestly, this thing, for the size, it's a unit, it's a tank, and it's a no-brainer. For what these go for, it's a no-brainer. If you guys are looking for an SUV and don't want to spend money on a new one, please, I advise you to get a Touareg Tdi. No hate on the VR6, but obviously it's a no-brainer. Way better fuel mileage, and it's more reliability. Reliability, guys. Sorry, I said that wrong, but no-brainer. 10 out of 10 for looks, 10 out of 10 for reliability. I'd give it a good like 8 out of 10 for performance. It's not the fastest, it's also not slow. It does have good amount of torque, so it squats when you gas it, but at the end of the day, it's a tank, guys. It's not a Cayenne GTS or Cayenne S, so yeah, don't expect anything crazy. It's no slouch for sure. So yeah, all good reviews for me. If I could do it again, I definitely will, even though I don't have to, because I'm never getting rid of this thing. Alright guys, I just got kicked out by a Ranger. Now he was cool though. We started talking about the rig and blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. Short and simple review on the Touareg, and honestly, highly advise you guys to get one. Let me know if you guys want to see more content of the Touareg reviews, etc. Whatever you guys want to know, I'll film it for you guys and I'll show you. So don't hesitate to ask. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.